So my name is Amanda Bradley. I think you may know me from sending you various messages on the chat group. I'm here today co-organizing with Diana and Dago from WABILED, Tetra Tech, USAID. I myself work at FAO. We have a pretty exciting agenda. I think it's going to be a really interesting meeting. We want to keep it very informal. I just want to let you know if you're not speaking, if you can keep your microphone on mute, that would be great. And I would also like to let you know that there is French interpretation available, and you can access this at the bottom of your screen by going to the small globe that says interpretation, and there you can select French, English, or original language. So without further ado, I would like to introduce my colleague, Maria Ruiz Villar, who's a forestry officer at the FAO, and she has been supporting the project, the Global Transformation of Forests for People and Climate regional project that FAO is implementing. And she's here with us just to give a quick introducctory greeting. So I'll turn it over to Maria. Thanks again for, yeah, please, microphones on mute if you're not speaking. And feel free to turn on your video. Thank you.
Il faut scanner
Maria?
et envoyer avec les rapports. Vous avez l'adresse de M. Carlos Tipote. Voilà. Donc, il faut l'envoyer.
Good morning, good evening to everyone. I recall again, as Amanda just said, try to mute your mic if you can't. My name is Maria Ruiz Villar. I'm supporting the project that in West Africa that is also collaborating with this initiative. First of all, I would like to welcome you to the network meeting on gender and forestry. Thank you very much for your participation, and thank you in advance for your contribution and active participation in the meeting. As you know, in most processes, one of the most powerful driving forces is the sisterhood and the brotherhood of the people engaged. And this community of practice has the benefit of your individual expertise, your background, your experience, your knowledge, but more important, it has the wonderful power of acting together and learning from each other. So you have a power which adds to the power of the many women in the field. We have been lucky enough 2 weeks ago to be in Benin, where we have visited a local community who are starting to work in forest management. And it was impressive to see the women of those communities that, despite of the structural barriers, display an incredible organizational skills, management skills, technical skills, engagement skills. They didn't leave anyone behind. So you combine all these powers. It's just a matter of channeling them and trying to overcome the barriers that sometimes are difficult to overcome. But this network will help, and I'm pretty sure that the discussions that are coming will help in addressing those barriers in a systematic way and learning from each other. I really wish you a successful meeting, interesting discussions, and that this meeting only gives a more of a driving force to the collaboration to come. So thank you very much to all, and over to you, Amanda.
Thank you so much, Maria, for those inspiring words. Really great to hear about your field experience too. And yeah, we're really hoping that this network will grow and continue to have more and more connections from the ground level up to the national level throughout the region. So thank you. I just wanted to give a very brief overview on our agenda. We have planned a sort of unconventional meeting in that we will not be doing PowerPoint presentations, but we listen to your input from the chat group that some of the ideas that you want to talk about in terms of how we can use this platform, this community of practice, to move our agenda forward, how we can share information on funding opportunities that could be useful for our members, and also just a chance to get to know each other so that everybody feels a bit more connected in the group and comfortable to share their experiences as we go forward. I also want to just say a warm welcome to our colleagues from ECOWAS Gender Development Center who are here with us. This is one of the partners in this initiative, and we're very happy that they could join us. So basically, we're going to have a series of breakout groups. We're first going to start with some self-introductions, and then we're going to have a breakout group that will discuss a little bit about our interest in this topic in gender issues and in the forestry sector, and how we got interested in this topic. Then we're going to have another breakout group where we'll talk more about the situation for women's role in forestry in the region and how we can bring about change. And then a third breakout group question to talk about funding opportunities that we can share information on. And then we'll have some wrap-up sessions. And the breakout groups will be both in French and English. So you'll have a choice to go to the French group or to the English breakout group. So yeah, the first thing I wanted to do next is to go around and introduce each other. So very quick introductions. Basically, where are you from? Where do you work? And what's your hobby? So I would suggest I would start, and then I will turn it over to the next person. And then maybe after you give your introduction, you could name the next person in line. Okay, so my name is Amanda Bradley. I work at FAO in the forestry department, and my hobby is playing guitar. So I would like to turn it over to, let's see, to Biliga Koivogui, if I may, and please turn on your video, if possible. We can't quite hear you. Can others hear?
Hello?
Yes, can you speak a bit louder? A little bit, yes.
Allô, c'est Madame Biliga Koivogui, de la Guinée. Donc, d'accord, un intérêt particulier par rapport à la foresterie est extrêmement important. Voyons que l'activité des femmes à ce niveau.
You can't hear her clearly.
Okay, maybe we can come back to you because the sound is too small. I'm sorry. Let me turn it over to Diana next, and we'll try to come back to you.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Diana Ndego. I work with WABILED. WABILED stands for West Africa Biodiversity and Low Emissions Development Program. It's a project funded by USAID. My hobby is cooking. I love cooking. So I turn it over to Valerie.
Okay, hello.
Hello.
Hello and good morning, everybody. My name is Valerie Fuminaza. I work with the Forestry Commission of Ghana. I work with the Forestry Commission of Ghana, and I'm with the Plantations Department. Yes, my hobby is Christian charity, doing voluntary work outside the office and supporting the needy, the disabled, and people who are in need. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Who would you like to call on?
I would like to call on Michelle. Michelle Nyanibaike. Sorry.
Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Michelle Nyanibaike. I'm from Ghana, and I work with the Forestry Commission. Yes, specifically the Resource Management Support Center. Yes, my hobby is singing and evangelism. Thank you. So I'll hand over the baton to Dorothy.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dorothy Damson, also from Forestry Commission, Ghana. I am with the Central Regional Office of the Forestry Commission. My hobby is working and then reading. Thank you. And I will hand over to Eugene.
Hi, this is Eugene Cole. Sorry, my webcam is not coming on. So I'm Eugene Cole, and I work for WABILED, West Africa Biodiversity and Low Emissions Development. And I'm the cost-cutting services lead here. And I actually work from Ghana. So it looks like this is the Ghanaian trend moving. And my hobby, I think I share a hobby with Amanda. I play the guitar. I play the guitar. I play the keyboard as well. I love playing them. Thank you. And I will pass the baton over to Lawrence Selicum.
Thank
you. Well, actually, I'm a translator. I'm doing the translation from French to English, and then where necessary, English back to French. I'm a Ghanaian. And hobby, well, it's interesting. I also like playing the guitar. Of course, I like reading also.
Lawrence, are you there?
Yes. Hello?
Yes, so Lawrence, who are you passing it on to?
To Aisha Tuba, ECOWAS. I'm passing it on to Aisha.
I think those are the interpreters, so maybe it's difficult for them to introduce. So maybe we could go to Khadija Jallo. Excuse my pronunciation. You're on mute, I think.
Yeah, good morning, colleagues. I think you pronounced it well. My name is Khadija Aissata Jallo, and I work for Solidaridad West Africa Sierra Leone office, and I'm the Gender and Youth Officer. For hobbies, I traveled and dance a lot. So I'm passing the mic to Catherine. Karim. Is it Karim?
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, everybody. My name is Karine Achia. I work for FAO in Benin. So I'm from Benin. I'm the gender focal point of the FAO office. I'm also the assistant to the representative. So as hobby, I like reading. I like, just like Khadija, I like to dance. And I also like to walk. Okay, thank you. I will call on Michelle. Michelle Aikins. I think she has just left. Maybe I will call someone else. Do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, maybe Marianne Sowoni.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, good morning.
Yes, you can hear me now. My name is Marianne Gudisowani. I work for the Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs in Sierra Leone. I am the director, and my hobbies, I like domestic chores, especially cooking and gardening. And I like to dance a lot. I'm happy to be here today. I'm happy to learn and to make my contributions. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Who would you like to call on next?
Would like to call on Adama Lee. Adama Lee. Is it Lee, L-Y?
Yes, thank you very much. Good morning. My name is Adam Ali, and I'm an international consultant to support the community-based forest initiatives in the countries. And I'm working with Amanda and Maria as a project, as a budget holder, and Abdul. And my hobby is jogging, especially in jogging, particularly in forests, and listening to the songs of birds. And now I'm very delighted to call on Ao, Mr. Ao. Over to you.
I'm trying to make my camera on so everybody can see me. Good morning, everyone. Adama, that was an easy one. Why didn't you choose another person? So my name is Muhammad Ao, and I'm a program officer with the sub-regional office of FAO for West Africa. And I'm the manager of the project called Global Transformation Forest for People and People, for forests and people, for which actually we having these meetings today in terms of gender and forestry. Just to add a little bit that what Maria said, actually we've seen to that, we went to visit a community initiative in South Benin, which is actually bordering with the Togo. What do we know? This is actually really a big presence of women, but not in the decision-making seats. So it's really this informal discussion will really help in terms of finding out ways of how we can get really women into that driving seat and that decision-making seat, so things could change, particularly in this area of forestry, which is actually a male dominated area. My hobby is to make relationship, know people. So I must say bonjour Karine du Bénin.
Bonjour, je suis vraiment contente de te retrouver ici.
Yeah, I'm happy that you are here. Well, I was disconnected, but well, I didn't hear you introduce yourself. Yes, I have already introduced myself. Yeah, I was disconnected. There was a network difficulty. So I will pass the baton to Christian Anza. Yeah. Hello, everybody. Unfortunately, I am not able to switch on my video camera. I'm Christian Onzon from Côte d'Ivoire. I am Director of Research Planning and Evaluation at the Ministry of in charge of forestry, and I'm also the technical assistant for the gender desk at the Department of Forestry, and we are trying to develop certain projects and certain activities with the involvement of women in the rural areas. Thank you, everybody. And what's your hobby?
C'est ça? Ce que j'aime?
Oui, c'est ça.
Oui, j'aime faire la cuisine avec mes enfants.
Yeah, I love cooking with my kids. I really love doing that. Can you name the next person?
Ah, d'accord, désolé. OK. Je ne sais pas si Madame Aouski s'est présentée.
I don't know whether Madame Aousi, Madame Delphine Aousi. Yeah, thank you. My name is Delphine Aousi. I hope you can hear me clearly. Hello, everybody from Côte d'Ivoire. I am the chairperson of the Malibi Association. It's an association which works with women, and they manage a secret grove that is over 1,500 hectares, and we no longer talk about integration, but inclusion of women in the management of the forest zones. With regard to hobby, I love reading. I would like to choose Alua.
Madam Zoom.
Zoomina. Thank you, everyone. Excuse me, if you're not called on, please close the microphones so that there's less interference. Thank you.
Good morning, dear. Boko dear.
Go ahead.
Hello. Hey, now. Now where do I look now?
Michelle, could you please close the microphone? And Delphine, could you please call again? Is it Aloha that you?
Oui, j'ai choisi Aloha.
Ok, bonjour à tous, bonjour à toutes. Moi, c'est Kadjo Aloha.
Yeah. My name is Kadjo Aloha.
Je suis de la Côte d'Ivoire également.
I'm from Côte d'Ivoire. I'm also from Côte d'Ivoire. That is the executive secretariat of the commitment, stakeholder commitment. And with regard to my hobbies, I love reading as well as swimming. Thank you. This person, I can see Abdoulaye Diaga Ba. Thank you, Madam Aloha. Hello, everybody. My name is Ba Abdoulaye Diaga. That is, I work with the FAO in Guinea. I'm also the gender focal point. I am very happy to participate in this training workshop, which will enable me to better appreciate the involvement of women and also appreciate the gender aspect in the forestry. I also love sports and reading. And I would like to call on Karine Achia if she has not yet introduced herself. She has already introduced herself. Yes, Karin Ba has already introduced herself. Well, I can see Khadija Diallo of Guinea-Bissau, if she has not yet introduced herself.
I think maybe there's a problem with the microphone.
Ok, Khadija Diallo n'est pas présentée. Bon, je vois.
Biliga, has Biliga introduced her?
Because before she had a microphone problem. Biliga?
D'accord, Biliga, vous êtes là?
Biliga, are you ready? Are you with us?
D'accord, donc j'ai renommé encore Ndeye Mathieu Paye, si elle est là.
We can see you, but the microphone is closed.
When they matify,
can you turn on the microphone?
Your mic is muted. Yeah, hello. I represent the Association of Women in Forestry in West Africa. We are based in Senegal. Thank you. And what's your hobby? Well, I love reading and music.
Vous allez nominer qui?
Who would you designate to introduce him or herself?
Sinon, je peux nominer Madame Aïssatou Ba.
Je regarde les participants.
Ah, ok.
Aïssatou Ba, ECOWAS, si elle ne s'est pas déjà présentée.
Pas encore, je pense.
Vous m'entendez?
Oui, je vous entends très bien.
Yeah, I can hear you. Hello? I had some difficulty with my camera, but I will introduce myself. My name is Aïssatou Ba. I am that is economic empowerment and capacity building at the gender desk. I work with ECOWAS. I'm in Dakar. So it's a pleasure for me to participate at this training on gender and forestry. Thank you very much. I will pass give the floor to Salamatu Cham. Hello, everybody. Well, I'm trying to activate my camera. Well, it's still with ECOWAS. My name is Salimata Cham. I'm the program senior principal gender officer. We are in charge of implementation of the ECOWAS gender policies in the 15 ECOWAS countries. My hobby is walking along the coast to watch the sea. I really enjoy having that pleasure every day. I would like to call on Dr. Faye if she's connected, also with ECOWAS. If Madam Faye is not connected, I would like to call Mr. Audu Ahmed Guma, also of ECOWAS. Thank you.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. I've opened my camera, but I cannot see myself. Looks like I have a problem with the camera. So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So my name is Audu Ahmed Guma. I'm the head of planning, research, monitoring, and evaluation of the ECOWAS Gender Development Center, which is based in Dakar, Senegal. As my colleagues indicated, the Gender Center, the ECOWAS Gender Development Center is a specialized agency of ECOWAS, responsible for promoting gender equality and women's empowerment in the ECOWAS integration programs. It's a pleasure for me to be part of this meeting. Thank you. I would like to pass the baton over to Madam Nde Aminata Wage. Thank you. Okay.
Hello, my name is Aminata Wage, in charge of operations at the sub-region office of ECOWAS in Dakar. My hobbies are reading and music. Thank you. I would like to give the floor to Segondine Sanya. Hello, my name is Segondine Sanya. I am I've been certified assistant at the sub-regional office of FAO in Senegal. I'm happy to be with you. My hobby is walking and gospel, listening to gospel music. Thank you.
Vous allez nominer quelqu'un d'autre?
Yeah, who would you pass? Yeah, Amanda Bradley. Oh, that's me. Alou Kajo. I don't know whether she has introduced herself already. This Diallo. Well,
to see who has not already introduced himself. Maybe we can ask.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, Abdul Jallo. I think I'm using the Aminata's account.
Thank you, Jallo.
The International Community Forestry Consultant at FAO West Africa Sub-Regional Office in Dakar. Is it okay? Do you hear me? Hello?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Thank you.
And the next person? Maybe people can volunteer now since it's hard to see who hasn't introduced already. Maybe Sonia Yao, I think. Or Olivia Akanisi, Esther Kwao. Please just feel free to jump in. Okay, we have Nana, yeah.
Please, I'm Nana Yabuedua from the Forestry Commission.
Nice to meet you. Which country are you from?
Ghana.
Ghana, okay. And your hobby? Your hobby?
I like listening to
music.
Yes.
Great. Thank you for joining. Okay, how about next person? Anyone want to jump in?
Hello.
Yes, Sonia. Please go ahead.
Hello, je suis Madame Yao.
My name is Madame Yao from Sonia Yao from Côte d'Ivoire. I work at the Directorate of Planning at the Ministry of Lands and Forestry, in charge of gender services.
Yes, and your hobby?
La musique et la danse.
For hobby, well, I like music and dancing.
Many good dances. Okay, next, anyone else want to jump in to introduce themselves before we move to the next agenda? I'd like to remind everybody also to please fill in the link for attendance. This would be very helpful just to have a little more information on who's on the line. I will share the link again in the chat here. Anyone else for introduction? Otherwise, maybe we will move to the next section of our agenda, which is about the breakout rooms. So we're going to start the first breakout session. We're going to have a group for French speakers and a group for English speakers. And I'm going to turn it over now to Diana to explain how this is going to work.
So thank you, Amanda. We will have two groups, as Amanda has just explained, one for English speakers, one for French speakers. So, and we'll work in our group, our breakout room for 15 minutes. And answer one question. And the question will be, when one, which is English, myself and Amanda will facilitate that breakout room. And then Al from FAO will facilitate the French breakout room. So basically for each of them, you would spend 15 minutes discussing this question. The facilitator would take down the notes from your discussion. And then after 15 minutes, we'll come back to plenary. And then I will introduce the second breakout session. So just check at the bottom of your screen. You would find the link to the breakout rooms. Click on more. And then you go to breakout room. We have English, we have French. You click to join the English group if your preferred language for communication is English. And then the same for the French group. I can see people joining already. We have 5 in English, 4 in French. So just at the bottom of your screen, go to more. You would see join breakout room and join your preferred language of communication, English or French. And as I indicated, when we start the discussion, we will have 15 minutes to discuss one question and then come back to plenary after 15 minutes. And I introduce the second breakout session. So we have 7 in English, 8 in French. Then we have close to 30 participants here. So Okay. So myself, I'm going to join the English group.
Yeah, me too. Just to clarify that everybody should join one group. Adama, Alua. Please select either French or English. Delphine.
How is the facilitator for the French group? How do you have the question for the group, the French group?
You should have it.
Yeah.
Oui, allô?
Yeah. Yes.
Ok, moi j'ai un petit souci, quoi, parce que le temps pour moi de choisir, de faire le choix sur le français, j'ai été coupé, quoi, la connexion. Je ne sais pas si les groupes ont déjà commencé les travaux ou bien s'il faut encore rejoindre le groupe à partir d'où, à ce niveau-là.
I think the groups are.
Il faut essayer encore.
So he should exit the group he's in right now and come back to the main screen, go back to more and click breakout, join breakout room, and then go to the French room.
D'accord.
Welcome.
D'accord, entendu. Bye.
Okay, you're welcome. So we have 9 in the English group, 9 in the French group now, 10 for English, 9 for French, 19 participants. So we still have more people who haven't joined the breakout rooms. Kindly join one so we start the session in the next 2 to 3 minutes.
Diana, why don't you join the English room and start the discussion and I'll...
Moi, j'ai quelques soucis. Je suis en train de régler ça pour entrer dans un... J'ai quelques soucis techniques.
Okay, so I'll do that.
Yeah. Okay, c'est quoi le souci?
Bonjour Amanda.
Oui, bonjour.
Je suis en train de régler ça. C'est avec ma machine. Je suis en train de régler.
Ok. Et des autres? Adama, are you able to join one of the breakout rooms? Sonia? Basically, you go to the bottom of the screen.
Amanda, I have also a problem in joining the group. I have left the actually discussion, but couldn't see how to join the group.
Okay, so at the bottom of your screen, there's a box that says breakout rooms. It's next to reactions. It's an icon with 4 small squares. If you click there, then you can choose French or English.
Where is it? Reaction. I can see reaction and application and plus within 3 dots.
Okay, so usually
what I have here on the menu here, after the video, mic, and participant, partage l'écran, interpretation, reaction, application, and plus. Maybe on plus. Okay. Rejoindre la salle de discussion. C'était in plus. It wasn't displayed. Thank you very much, Amanda.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
great.
Glad you figured it out. Thank you. Okay. And Aïssatou, vous avez compris le problème?
Oui, oui, Amanda. Oui,
Oui.
Amanda, j'ai toujours je suis en train de régler ça.
Quelques soucis.
C'est avec ma machine, oui.
Okay. Et Biliga? Biliga, are you able to join? Or Senam Kumedro? Oh, that's interpreter, sorry. Michelle? Okay, I'm gonna go to the breakout room.
Hi, Amanda.
Yeah.
This is Edna. I think you can join the breakout room so that I monitor the rest from here. Then
Okay.
when they come, I would assist them to join the breakout rooms.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, Valerie. Okay, she's gone.
Hi, Edna. You there?
Yes, Amanda, I'm here.
I just told both groups that they have 2 minutes left. That would be 15 minutes.
Okay.
So maybe, I guess you can automatically bring the groups
Them
back to
back
the
to-
plenary, right?
Yes, we
Okay.
can do that. So I should do that in 2 minutes.
Yeah, let's say 2
Okay.
minutes max.
All right, sure.
Thank you.
Okay.
Pardon, Aïssatou, c'était pas possible pour vous de joindre les breakouts. Comment faire? Il y a des possibilités d'être à côté de vos collègues pour le prochain parce qu'on a
Oui,
prévu...
bonjour Amanda. Je suis
Oui.
toujours en train de voir là.
OK.
Dans ma machine, j'ai quelques petits avec la machine là. Je suis en train de régler ça avec le IT manager là.
Ah, OK. Sinon, peut-être vous pouvez rejoindre un collègue et je sais pas parce que on aura une autre séance de breakout après ça aussi. J'espère que c'est possible pour vous de participer avec nous. So maybe we can call the groups back.
So I can end the breakout rooms now, Amanda.
Yeah, yeah, I
Okay.
think so.
Okay, all right. So I've ended it. They have about 50 seconds, then it will automatically join them to the main group.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so welcome back all of you to the main room.
You were without mercy on me. I was speaking and you cut me off.
I was cut off myself.
You had no mercy on me. No,
I
it's
was
okay.
cut out myself. You were not the only one. So we welcome back, as I said, all of you to the plenary. And let me explain that the arrangement we have is that we'll have the 2 breakout sessions. And then when we come back to the next plenary, we can have the feedback from both discussions. So we'd like to go back again into our groups, our English and French groups. This time we'll have a different person take the notes. And then after 20 minutes of discussion, we'll reconvene and share the outcomes of breakout room session 1 and session 2. So when we come back, 2 people from the English group will present for their group, and then the same for the French group. And if we have time, additional comments can be made, or additional contributions can be made to the presentations. Otherwise, we proceed with the agenda and hope that we can continue to discuss some of these things in our various spaces after this meeting. So in the same manner again, go back to the link that to the link.
Sorry, Diane.
Yes.
We're already 11:30, right? And the session will go until 11:45 or what?
11. So the session is for 20 minutes. It runs to 11:41.
Okay.
11:41.
He's 11:41 will be in 10 minutes.
It's
So
not
it should be
51.
51, yeah.
51. Okay, then my clock is
Time
incorrect.
flies.
But my
clock
question is that
incorrect.
actually the meeting was supposed to end at 11:45, right?
Yes. We extended the time to 12. Edna, is that correct?
Okay. Because
so we need to do this quickly. So please
Right.
get into your breakout rooms, English, French, and let's do this in 20 minutes. Be back in 11:51. Edna, please help me with the time because my clock is incorrect.
Okay, yes, we'll be back
about
at
that.
11:51. So we can join our breakout groups now.
Okay, thank you.
And I think at local and national level, we also need a robust awareness raising and sensitizations among communities. I remember doing an assessment for my forestry company here in Sierra Leone, and there was a whole gap. You see young wives expressing interest to work in the forestry division, but then when you speak to the husbands and the family members, for them it's like a no. This is not for women. We cannot allow them to even venture into that division. So I think we still have that kind of perception and attitude because of their mindset, what they believed in, that there's a specific role for women and there's a specific role for men. Even when their daughters and wives are expressing interest, and for them it's no, you cannot. And it also kind of hinders their growth. So I think, yes, the robust sensitization and awareness would be really helpful for women's participation in the division. Thank you.
Great addition there. Valerie, you are next. Thanks so much, Khadija.
Okay, thank you very much. From this side, what I would like to propose, what I would like to see is the availability of system structures, including information for forest fringe communities about what gender equity, gender equality, all the issues about gender is all about. I think from our various countries, especially for us in Ghana, we need to sensitize the females right from school for them to understand that they can do it. And it is for them to succeed in whatever they are doing when they are able to build their capacity as females. And then they can do it. So we, for example, in Ghana, we have the policy and the provisions that are even in the policy. These are friendly flyers and brochures for people within the communities to be able to know that there are gender issues, and then every individual, male or female, young or old, has a role to play, and you can do it once they are sensitized, they are aware of it. The other is to ensure that we do massive, even for professional foresters. A lot of women will just recline and go and sit back and just wait for things to happen. The need to just a degree, or most women in the forestry sector will be support staff, or they don't think they can even compete with the men like other people have said. But it is to build your own capacity so that you are not pushed to a job because you're a female, but because you have built your capacity, you have gained experience, and you have the systems, you know the rules and regulations of the forestry sector, then you can be pushed forward to play a significant role. Then you bring all the other females along with you so that they can also do well in there. And that's what I have to say.
Okay. And I think bringing other females along with you brings to the table the whole issue of mentoring people, young women who are interested in taking up roles in forestry. Because for most young women, they would like to see somebody who talks about the possibilities, somebody who has been through the challenges and has been able to succeed. So, creating visibility that there is possibility in forestry for young women. I think that's also an important factor.
Visibility is the word. Yes. We were fortunate to have some training by the Ghana Employees Association Female Future Leadership Program, and that has really helped us to bring a lot of mentoring system where you bring a lot of women in your office across the commission to ensure that you all understand that we're all on the same level. And I think visibility is the word.
Yeah.
Successful females should be visible for other people to see. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Valerie. Khadija, is your hand still up or?
No, I think it's an old one.
Old one, okay.
Yeah.
Are there any addition? Yeah, Marian, go ahead.
Yes, please. With all the Herculean tasks, women perform in the forestry, yet they do not own forest. Of course, it goes without saying. So this should be in the law, especially in the women's land rights laws. And in as much as we want women to work in the forest, we have to protect them against the gender-based violence that takes place in those forest areas, protection from, wild animals and other stuff, anything that is hazardous to women. We need to take them on board. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Marian, and thanks for also bringing to the table the whole issue of gender-based violence within the forest sector. And I think that this is an important area that many of our projects need to pay attention to and create that vital linkage so it becomes an important component of what we are doing. We are able to see or spot and address issues related to GBV in our work as well. Who is next?
Well, maybe I'll.
Eugene, please.
Yes, I think I could maybe just say a few words. Well, I think some of the things, I would say they are not like in silos, but then in a way they sort of reinforce each other. But I think from a lot of the things that we have said, I think we have to start with, also the change of perceptions. In terms of like even the things that culture gives us, what society actually tells us is the right thing, the wrong thing, and all of that. So I think we have to get to that place where we look at the change of perceptions and.
Qui sont les bailleurs intéressés? Donc, je disais donc pour ce qui concerne ces aspects de financement pour l'énergie propre, c'est donc contribuer à l'effort mondial de réduction des gaz à effet de serre. Et tout le monde sait que ces gaz à effet de serre sont responsables de ce que nous vivons actuellement en termes de changement climatique. Et qui sont les bailleurs concernés? Les bailleurs concernés sont en particulier le Fonds pour l'environnement mondial, par exemple. Ils ont une fenêtre qu'on appelle Climate Change Mitigation, CCM, et il y a de l'argent sur ça, et tous les pays ont ce que l'on appelle un quota sur les fonds du FEM, et ces fonds du FEM, on les appelle les fonds STAR. Ces systèmes transparents d'allocation des ressources. Chaque pays a un quota, et ce quota intègre 3 fenêtres. 1, biodiversité, 2, changement climatique, pour la mitigation, et c'est ce qui nous concerne dans cette réunion-là, et le 3e, c'est la lutte contre la dégradation des terres. En dehors de cela, les bailleurs bilatéraux qui sont concernés, qui aiment bien financer cet aspect-là, il y a l'USAID, notamment l'Union européenne. À vous.
Merci Adama. Voilà. Quelqu'un d'autre? Je ne vois pas de main.
Oui, j'ai ma main levée.
Allez-y, allez-y.
Oui, en plus de ce qu'a dit tout à l'heure M. Lee, je pense qu'il faut aussi se tourner vers les institutions financières, notamment la Banque mondiale ou la BAD aussi, qui s'intéresse beaucoup plus, n'est-ce pas, à l'atténuation des effets du changement climatique. En plus de
we could also look at, I mean, the current, I mean, batch, I mean, excuse me to say that, but I mean, like the batch of women professionals, I mean, that are existing. So for example, I had Khadija talking about her company, you know, if it is about economics or business, could we do forestry business? Could we do forest economics? Could we look at things like community forestry that looks at other social issues in forestry? All of these are around forestry. So forestry is not just about selling logs. There's so much more. There is so much more. I mean, that we could actually introduce the multidisciplinary aspect of forestry, which could sort of multiply the interest and perception for women and girls. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Eugene, for that rich addition to the discussion. We have just 3 minutes left, and I don't know if anybody has some information on funding opportunities on forestry and gender. Just information, and then we could follow up later to find out the details. If anybody has, you can raise your hand, draw my attention, or unmute yourself and share. But I'll begin with myself. There is a current opportunity I'm aware of that is a funding for women-focused projects that are helping to conserve wildlife. At this stage of the funding for this particular project, it's a closed one, I was told. And so the only way you can be assessed for your eligibility for this project is to submit all the necessary relevant details that you would want to be used to know more about your project to the people who are managing the fund. So basically a governing body that would assess your eligibility for the project if you submit information or documentation that will be used to do the assessment. And once the assessment is done, you will be recommended Okay, welcome everyone to the main session. I'll call for the English group, we have Khadija and Idayatu. If you could quickly share the outcomes from our discussion with the wider group, and the same for ours group too. So Khadija, just in 2 minutes, kindly share our discussion. And the same for Idayatu, just 2 minutes.
Okay. Our question was, when and how did you first become aware of gender issues in the forestry sectors? And we had contributions stating that they first aware when they were on vacation in the village, and as boys, they had to go into the forest, and girls were prohibited because there were different rules for boys and different rules for girls in the forestry sector. And another person stated that they become aware through stories that they were told. And through these stories, traditions had different.
Okay. Ladies, someone has his microphone open. Can you turn it on? Khadija Jallo, Ocean Call.
Yes.
Aminata. Okay. All right. Please.
Okay.
All right.
Can I proceed?
Go ahead, Khadija.
Okay. So another person also indicated that she first became aware when she joined the forestry division, and she was the only female there, and there were issues of, there were doubts and concern whether she'll be able or she's fit for the job because it was considered as a man's job. And another person also highlighted the issue of ownership and roles and the impact of both male and female activities in the forest. And the last person mentioned violence. The last person mentioned that they were collecting names for volunteers, and the only names that were submitted to her were men. And when she tried to probe further to ask as to why, she also got the response that it's because the sector was seen as a man's domain. And I think that's all I got for that question. Over to the next person. Thank you.
Okay. We would like to take the same for the French group. The outcome of discussion 1 from the French group.
Is Commander Aminata?
Oui, donc moi c'est Aminata Wage, voilà. Après nos discussions, il est ressorti en fait que les gens ont pris conscience des questions de genre dans le domaine forestier lors de certaines réunions, voilà, il n'y avait pas de femmes. Il n'y avait pas de femmes, et même au cours des réunions en ville pour les forêts, elles sont toujours minoritaires lors des réunions sur le domaine forestier. Et même aussi, M. Abdullah, il a parlé aussi des femmes qui étaient mises à part dans la gestion et l'utilisation des ressources forestières. Souvent, elles sont impliquées, mais avec moins de gains. Les hommes ont plus une part importante que les femmes. Il y a aussi une autre personne aussi qui a parlé de l'implication intrinsèque des femmes dans le domaine forestier. Voilà, parce qu'elles sont plus utilisées sur le plan des pépinières, voilà, car elles sont très méticuleuses, et aussi avec la transformation des produits forestiers. Ce sont les femmes qui sont impliquées là-bas aussi, parce que ce sont des championnes, surtout dans la transformation du Sumbala, du Néré, voilà, en Sumbala. Donc, la solution, c'est d'arriver à une gestion durable de ces ressources avec le greffage. Et il y a Madame Thiam aussi qui a parlé des questions de genre avec la biodiversité, et aussi le centre est engagé. Lorsque le centre s'est engagé dans la formation des femmes dans le domaine de la foresterie, ils ont vu en fait que les femmes là n'étaient jamais impliquées. Voilà. Et en gros, nous pouvons dire qu'elles sont toujours minoritaires dans le domaine de la foresterie et même dans les instances de décision, on ne voit pas des femmes, on voit plus des hommes. Donc, il est important que cela change. Voilà. Merci.
Merci, Aminata. Back to you, Diana.
Thank you so much, Aminata, for that submission for the French group. And we can see similar issues coming up in the discussion, in particular, the whole issue of the forest sector being dominated by men and calling, therefore, the need for us to look at more proactive ways by which we can promote women's participation in terms of leadership and decision-making within the forest sector. In the interest of time, I'll move again to the English group for the presentation of the second question, presentation of the outcomes of the discussion of the second question.
Okay.
Idayatu, if you are ready, you can do that presentation for us.
Yes, I'm ready, Dana. Okay, thank you so much. So our question was, what would you like to see improved? Would you like to see improve the situation of women's role in the region? And I've grouped it into how the comments came. I've just tried to group them all into similarity. So the first one has to do with policies and legislation. So our team thought that policies and legislation should be introduced, but even further, it's not just introducing the policies, but they should make these policies be very supportive. That means there could be some percentages set aside for women to be employed in the forestry sector, or some affirmative action laws could be introduced to make sure that women are given the opportunity to participate in the sector. The second one has to do with budgetary provisions and also allocation of resources so that these policies and legislation, once they are introduced, they can be implemented effectively. And the third one has to do with establishing and strengthening both regional and national mechanisms that would help coordinate these initiatives that the policies and legislation would introduce, and also make sure that at the regional level, all these policies are well implemented and they are followed through. Then we also presented that it would be good to have some form of sensitization and awareness creation. And this is essential to help demystify the wrong notions that people have or may have about women's role in the forestry department, and also to create more awareness and to help build the capacities of women. We also talked about formally introducing some capacity building for women that would help them which would help create visibility on the opportunities that these women may have in the forestry in the forestry sector. Now, this would also serve as a mentoring opportunity for women to mentor other women, mostly younger women, so that they know that they also have a place, an important place to role to also play in the forestry sector. And then the last is introducing multidisciplinary aspects of forestry to this women. You can look at it from economic generation opportunities in the forestry industry, economic generation, businesses, entrepreneurship, to help women know that there are different aspects or there's different disciplinaries when it comes to forestry work. Thank you, Diana.
Thank you so much, Idayatu. French group, would you want to add your?
Yes, Jallo, we have very similar actually points. Maybe if you can just maybe talk with those that we haven't actually touched on, just for the sake of time.
Oh, ok. Oui, merci beaucoup. C'est Abdul Jallo, brièvement, c'est qu'on a retenu. Peut-être un des premiers points dans la première question, qu'est-ce que diriez-vous pour améliorer la situation que le premier groupe anglais n'a pas proposé, c'est qu'on a amené les hommes tout d'abord à accepter le rôle des femmes, un rôle de co-gestion dans la foresterie. C'est quelque chose d'important qui a été souligné dans notre groupe. Peut-être aussi la diversification et la spécification des opportunités et mécanismes de financement, parce que là, si les opportunités de financement, les opportunités, les mécanismes de financement sont spécifiques ou bien encouragent une discrimination positive en faveur des femmes, c'est encore plus intéressant. Autre chose, c'est l'inclusion des femmes dans les instances de prise de décision, leur donner un rôle de leadership qui pourrait aider à améliorer cette situation dans la sous-région. Là, on a parlé aussi de revoir les codes forestiers, politiques et lois, et un peu collé à ça, le droit foncier inclusif, parce que quand on parle de droit foncier, souvent, les femmes sont mises à l'écart. Là aussi, il y a eu une proposition de créer un écosystème vecteur sur la thématique genre et foresterie, parce que si vous prenez ce thème-là, cette thématique, elle est presque nouvelle comparée peut-être à la thématique genre et agriculture. Donc, il faut vraiment encourager la création d'un écosystème vecteur pour cette nouvelle thématique. En termes d'opportunités de financement, donc la sous-question numéro 2, il y a eu des propositions d'opportunités de financement dans le secteur de la foresterie et des biodigesteurs. Donc, les biodigesteurs sont vraiment en vogue actuellement. Beaucoup de mécanismes de financement s'y trouvent. Donc, on a cité beaucoup de bailleurs potentiels dans ce secteur genre et foresterie pour notre sous-région. Donc, il y a le FEM, Fonds environnement mondial par pays. Il y a l'USAID, il y a l'Union européenne, il y a la Banque africaine de développement, la Banque mondiale, l'Union africaine, ONIFAM, CEDEAO, qui a un volet foresterie, mais aussi il y a les gouvernements qu'on peut mettre à contribution pour trouver du financement dans les modes de secteur de cette thématique genre et foresterie en Afrique. Merci beaucoup. Je ne sais pas si j'ai raté quelque chose, si quelqu'un peut ajouter.
Non, je crois que c'est bon, à moins que quelqu'un se rappelle de quelque chose. Back to you, Diane.
Monsieur Al,
Oui, Madame Ba.
oui, on avait dit aussi de valoriser les compétences des femmes, parce qu'on sait qu'en matière de foresterie, c'est vrai qu'il faut former, mais les femmes ont des compétences locales. Il y a des initiatives aussi locales menées par les femmes, que ça soit valorisé et ça peut impacter sur le rôle des femmes dans la gestion des forêts. Merci.
Merci pour cet ajout. Diane, back to you.
Thank you so much to the French group. And I would just like to remind you again that the attendance form is in the chat box. Kindly.
Can you put it back?
Yes, so I just put it there again. So please log in and register your participation in this meeting. We would like to have that data. So kindly take a few minutes because we wouldn't like to close this meeting without this completely done. Kindly log in and complete your registration to indicate your attendance at this meeting or in this meeting. So we are actually far behind time, but I'd like to just give 2 more minutes for additional information on funding opportunities for gender and forestry, if there are any more additions on that. Otherwise, Abdullah, your hand is raised up. You can have the space to say what you want to say right now.
Merci beaucoup. Peut-être avant d'arriver à la clôture de la rencontre, moi, je voudrais vraiment qu'on clarifie très bien l'objectif fondamental de cette rencontre, parce que là,
objective of this meeting, because we have been able to share experiences and share knowledge on the issue of gender and forestry, but in reality, do you have a clear message to give us as actors or as facilitators and the ones organizing this program, because so this will help us to know how to integrate the gender in activities, forestry activities, and how to increase visibility of women in activities relating to the forestry sector. So that's what I'd like to know. Sorry, probably I did not understand from the beginning, but there's a request. And I think it's very important for us to leave this meeting with an idea of what is expected of us from this initiative and how we can continue the discussions, because in any case, we have initiatives, we have projects that where we need to always consider the gender aspect. So we need to understand our position in the implementation of our project.
Thank you so much.
To clearly understand the role of women in the forestry sector as well.
Exactly. So we have some few minutes. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say I'm actually behind I have another meeting where I'm actually I'm presiding another meeting. I'm already 7 minutes late and they've been calling me to join.
So sorry about that.
But if someone can wrap up, that's fine. Or I can join the other meeting. If not, if you want me to just say a few words before I go.
Kindly just say a few words as the one who wraps up this meeting, and then Amanda can do the final closure.
Ok. Je voulais juste, voilà, I'm going to change it to French. Je voulais juste remercier tout le monde pour.
So I just want to thank everybody for being part of this meeting. We have had some very interesting recommendations, and that of Mr. Ba is also very relevant. What is our takeaway from this meeting? I think the idea here is to, actually, this is an open forum, an open discussion, and to see how we can sensitize people when it comes to gender. But we have some very useful recommendations that can come in very handy. The next stage from here is to take all these ideas that we have gathered and to have a discussions, to continue discussion on these ideas and see whether we can engage people beyond this forum. And this also helps us to also explore the various sources of funding and see who to contact. Adama has talked about the Jeff, and also we can see how to explore other sources of funding. And there are a lot of organizations and institutions that we can get in touch with who can help facilitate funding mechanisms. I think the idea here is to gather ideas and approaches and share experience, and how we can go into further detail. And we need to take all these themes one by one and to see what each country can do in order to advance the cause of women in the forestry sector in every country. So that's all I have to say. Thank you all. Thank you to the USAID for the constant support. And we thank all the various partners who are involved in transformation of forests, so all institutions and all representatives of institutions. We thank you for taking time to be part of this meeting. So this is just the beginning, and we are going to take all specific themes one by one and see how we can go further, deepening our understanding on the various themes. So as a group and as groups and as individuals, we're going to continue these discussions. So thank you very much. On this note, I would like to take leave of you. Diana?
Thank you very much for your participation with us, Al. Well, yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that we'll talk through the results of this meeting and look at next steps. Thanks again.
Yes, thank you so much, Al. My mic was muted. And thanks, Amanda.
Sure. Diana, do you want to wrap up a bit more on the discussion so far?
Yes, so from the group discussions, we've had a lot of rich content in terms of what we see as the way forward in terms of women's participation in the forest sector. And I think that for most of these recommendations that we have had here, we have individual organizations that are working to promote gender in forestry, whose, should I say, mandate or activities or interventions are around these key activities that have been mentioned, or these recommendations that have been made here. So for us as a group who are convening this meeting, what we will do is to put together the outcomes of our discussion in the form of some key points and share with all who have participated in this meeting. And we are looking forward to ensuring that we regularize this group and make it a gender and networking group in the forest sector that will be more regular in terms of how we interact, share experiences, and share resources on the kinds of different interventions that we are doing to promote women in the forest sector. So in terms of outcome, we would share with you the discussion that we've had. We will share with you the different recommendations that have been made, and hope that we continue to engage as individual organizations and as a group to promote the suggestions or the recommendations that have been made here. So that's the way forward in terms of this meeting and what the next steps will be. I don't know if Amanda and Eugene would want to add something again to what I have said.
Yeah, no, thank you so much, Diana, and thank you to everybody for participating. I mean, this community of practice, it's a year old now. It's 1 year since our first meeting, and I hope that we could organize more frequent meetings or have more exchanges on the chat, and also have eventually maybe an in-person meeting where we can really sit down together and put a strategy, maybe proposal together to do some really concrete activities. And so I thank you also for your patience in helping to build up this group and all your contributions. And please feel free to invite other colleagues that you know, or people at all different levels, from community level to national level. This group should be very open to all interested parties. And yeah, let's keep the momentum going and try to make as much improvements as we can for women and gender in the forestry sector. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amanda, for that. And please, before you exit, kindly register your attendance, please.
Thanks again. Thanks for facilitating also.
S'il vous plaît, veuillez partager avec nous si vous avez des
register attendance before leaving.
N'est-ce pas?
Please, if you have documents relating to gender and forestry, kindly share them with us.
Yes, and I'd also like to